Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Manjit Kumar Ray. I'm Assistant Professor in the Department of Applied Biology from University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. So today I will be talking about the nutritional classification of microorganisms. So before starting in details, you should know what is about this nutrition and nutrients. So basically, nutrients are nothing but they are substances which are used in the biosynthesis and energy release. Okay. And the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth is called as nutrition. Now, basically, there are mainly two common nutrients are there, like macronutrients and micronutrients. So, in macronutrients like carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, etc. And in micronutrients, manganese, zinc, cobalt, molybdenum, etc. are there. So basically, these macronutrients and micronutrients are required for all-round development of all the living organisms, including microbes. Okay, and these macronutrients are nothing but they require a little in large amount, and the micronutrients are in less amount required for the growth and development. Okay. So basically the requirements for carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and electrons. So this carbon helps in skeletons of all the organic molecules, and hydrogen and oxygen, they are also important elements found in organic molecules. And the electrons they provide energy for use in cellular work, and it also reduces molecules during the biosynthesis. Okay. Now depending upon the energy source, these microbes they can be classified into phototrophs and chemotrophs. Okay, and depending upon the electron source, these microbes they can be classified into lithotrophs and organotrophs. Then again, depending upon the carbon source, the microbes they can be classified into autotrophs and heterotrophs. So phototrophs means they require light as an energy. Okay, so they require light as an energy, and in case of chemotrophs, they this energy is comes from the chemical substances. Okay, then in the electron source, they are classified into lithotrophs and organotrophs. So litho means inorganic, reduced inorganic compounds. Okay, litho means reduced inorganic compounds, and organotrophs, these are nothing but these electrons comes from organic compounds. Okay, then again, you can see in the slide, so lithotrophs, they can be also classified into photolithotroph and chemolithotroph. Okay, so example of photolithotroph is nothing but chromacium ocani, and examples of chemolithotrophs are like nitrosomonas, etc. Then these organotrophs, they are also classified into two types, like photoorganotrophs and chemoorganotrophs. So examples of photoorganotrophs is like rhodospirillum, and chemoorganotrophs example is pseudomonas, pseudoflora. Okay. So here you can see in the lithotrophs, photolithotrophs, light will be required, and the lithotrophs, which means reduce inorganic compounds. Okay. Similarly, in the chemolithotrophs, chemicals will be there, and reduce inorganic compounds should be there in chemolithotrophs. And in photoorganotrophs, light is required, and organic compounds will be there as a source. Then chemoorganotrophs, it is chemicals and reduced organic compounds. Okay. Then based on the carbon source, as I have said, these microbes they can be classified into two types mainly. They are autotrophs and heterotrophs. So in autotrophs, carbon dioxide is the sole source of carbon in autotrophs, and they synthesize food from inorganic substances. Whereas in case of heterotrophs, other organic compounds are the source of carbon, and they synthesize food from organic substances. Okay, so you can see the differences in the slide. So in autotrophs, the carbon dioxide is the sole source of carbon, whereas in heterotrophs, other organic compounds, okay, other organic compounds are the source of carbon. Okay, and in autotrophs they synthesize food from the inorganic substances, and in heterotrophs, they synthesize food from organic substances. Okay. Now, a little brief about these photoautotrophs. You can see these autotrophs, they can be also classified into these photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. So in photoautotrophs, energy of sunlight is required in photoautotrophs, and the carbon dioxide is reduced to carbohydrate. And in photoautotrophs, the hydrogen donor is nothing but water. And some photoautotrophic organisms like bacteria, they are anaerobes and have bacteriochlorophyll and bacterioviridin pigments respectively. Like example, in purple sulfur bacteria, they have bacteriochlorophyll, and in green sulfur bacteria, they have a bacterioviridin. Okay. Then again, in chemoautotrophs, they do not require light energy. Okay, so they do not require light and pigment for their nutrition, and they oxidize certain inorganic substances with the help of atmospheric oxygen. And this reaction releases the energy which is used to drive the synthetic processes of the cell. And some examples of chemoautotrophs are like sulfomonas, hydromonas, then methanomonas, pheromonas. These are some examples of chemoautotrophs. Okay. Then again, heterotrophs, the heterotrophic organisms, they obtain their ready-made food from organic substances, living or dead. Okay, and these heterotrophs, they are also classified as photoheterotrophs and chemoheterotrophs. Okay, so this chemoheterotrophs, they are again classified into three types like saprophytes, parasites, and symbionts. So saprophytes, that means they are living on the dead living organisms, okay, dead organic matters. And like for example, Bacillus mycoides and Bacillus ramosas, Acetobacter, these are some examples of saprophytes. They live on dead organic matter. So these are saprophytes, examples of saprophytes. Then some are parasites like Bacillus typhosus, Bacillus tuberculosis, Bacillus pneumonia, Vibrio cholerae. These are called as parasites. So they live on living matter. Okay, living matter. So these are called as your parasites. They derive their nutrition for living organisms. Okay. Then symbionts, they are in close association with each other, and they help each other for their nutrition and for their growth and development. Okay, like for example, your rhizobium, it is a common example of symbionts. Then azotobacter, these are some examples of symbionts. Okay, so thank you for listening.